Hi, this is Summer with Summer's Tips and Stitches, and for this video I thought I would go into a little bit more detail and not be as rushed and share with you the way I collect my patterns. Now, or organize my patterns. So I currently am someone that still prints them off. I tried to make the change to the electronic way, but I don't really want to invest in a high-end tablet. I have a laptop upstairs, and then I'm going to be honest, I don't have an iPad or any of those fancy things. I do have a Kindle, but it can't store a lot of documents. And I understand there is a cloud somewhere, but I'm currently not at that stage in my life where I have a lot of time to invest into figuring out where my cloud is, how to store documents, how to access them from my computer to my phone to my Kindle. So those of you that do that or love that kind of situation, this probably won't be the video for you. This is how, and I think part of this goes to the fact that, like, the traits that I have that lead me to be a teacher, or maybe the fact that I grew up in the 90s, so pre-technology that, that group has used. I use technology, but I'm limited. So basically, I will go to Ravelry, and I will look up a pattern, or I will go to different people's blogs, online blogs, like One Dog Woof I go there a lot, and I basically will print up their patterns. I thought maybe I'd quick, like here's an example. Zooty Owls, she has a blog where she lists most of her patterns for free. Now this is a tip for you all. A lot of times these people like Zooty Owl, One Dog Woof, that's just two that I can think of off the top of my head, will sell their patterns on Ravelry. So if you would like to support them financially, you can go to Ravelry, and a lot of times their patterns are for sale there. Also, they then will list their patterns for free on their blogs. So I will click on the link and I will print up their patterns. And then I take all the pages that come up and I will put them in these plastic sheets. And then I'll take this and I'll put it in my binder. And this is the section that I put large scarves / shawls. And so that is how I organize them. I'm going to keep this out for a minute. I'll have this big binder with all these tabs. This is actually, if you can see in here, a list of the crochet abbreviations, because I sometimes still get caught. And these are my favorite baby patterns. I bought this pattern. It's baby booty, baby sweaters, hats. That's my first section. My second section is hats. And then I have my amigurumi. I hope someday to be able to make that Dragonite. That's a Dragonite Pokemon for my son. Then this is the shawl section, or large scarves. Blankets, usually baby blankets, because most large blankets I don't really make patterns for. But the baby blankets, sometimes I print those off. Mittens, I only have a couple. I really would like to work harder at learning how to do mittens. And then these are like kind of a mishmash, mostly things I do for my daughter. The Mermaid, the Mad Hatter Hooker Crochet, or the Mad Hooker Crochet. She has a blog. Booties, leg warmers, this little tutu bag, a little doll carrier. And I put Maddie in a section on her own. So that is how I organize them. I print them off. I put all those same pages in this one sleeve. Okay. So now when I want to make Zooty Owl's day trip scarf, I pull out my sleeve. And the reason that I think this is nice for me personally is I really feel like before you crochet, you really should read through the pattern. I have a situation a year or so ago where I did not read all the way through the pattern, and I got caught. I want to say it was like line 2 or 3, because it wasn't coming out. I was making like a little ear headband that had a button on it for my daughter To make a long story short, because I did not read all the way through, I did not realize that I was making a buttonhole. So every time I'd get back to row 3, my stitches were short. So finally I just fudged it, went through, made sure and then I got to the end of the pattern and I realized that that was, when you get to line whatever 6, 7, and 8, that was the buttonhole that I was making. So you always should read through your pattern. And I think when you put them all in one page like this, one little packet, kind of forces you to look through. I really love Zooty Owl's patterns because she gives you a lot of information in regards to the skill level, about how long it took her, yarn suggestions. She always will give you a variety of yarns that you can use that she's used, the yardage that she needed, your hook, different things that you'll need. She gives you a lot of information. And then all the way down here, after you've read through this, is where the pattern starts. And then, let's just say I've read through the whole thing. I take that page where I'm at, where I've started crocheting, and that now is my front page. And as I crochet, I finish that page, I pull that one out, and I move on. And I put this in the back. And then I just carry this nice little page protector, and all those pages are together. That way I'm not losing them, they're not getting bent or torn inside of my bags. Now, the other thing that you can do, and that I do, and I kind of touched on a little bit in the other video, is I buy these are Avery Post-it tabs. I buy these in the school supply section. You can get plain ones, you can get Post-it brands. The ones I bought, I probably splurged on. They're teal, polka dot, pink, and purple. Now, if you are having a particularly hard time with a certain spot, like let's say you want to remember this repeat, you can put one of these tabs right here, and this is going to remind you that this is the repeat, because you have this part here that's solid and that part that's clear. Or, like I was saying the other day, let's say that I have to get up and get my kids' lunch started and it's the weekend. I put this tab right here to know I stopped at row 63. So that's why I like those tabs. And they re-stick, you pull them on and off, and they work just fine for reusing. Now, the second reason I like to use these tabs is if you look right here, I've got myself a little dry erase marker. Right here in this pattern, she talks about how even rows, you're going to do something special versus the odd number rows. So a lot of times with my dry erase marker, I can do a tally. I can start tallying on there, or I can put end on row 66. So I remember that I'm on even. Basically what I'm showing you is I take notes with my dry erase marker on this plastic sleeve. That way you're not ruining your pattern. And then when you're all done, you just take your paper towel, you erase it, and you move and put your next page on. So I really like to use this sleeve method. To me, it keeps my patterns nice. See, there's no writing on it. And it helps me because when I'm knitting or crocheting, because I have young children at home, or I knit in the car, or at the doctor's office, I can't just sit and go the whole time. I have to get up every 5 or 10 minutes, I feel like. And this allows me to do this at the park, carry my little stuff in the bag. This is how I do it. Now I also have, I thought I'd show you that because it's fun. I made myself a little collage using a Knit Picks catalog. This is my knitting one. And I don't have as many patterns in knit as I do crochet. Again, my first page is my knitting abbreviations. So if I'm unclear of what is going on with my pattern reading, I've got that. This is a really awesome pattern. Free Your Fade. This is a paid for one off of Ravelry. It's gorgeous. I wish I had a color printer for you guys to see this. Check it out. This designer just has beautiful work. Free Your Fade. This is a beautiful long drapey, and it would look really nice with a variegated yarn. Not necessarily the ones that do the long row changes, but one that do snippets. But yep, that's how I organize my knits patterns. Shawls first. Oh look, this easy goes it. Here's my post-it on that one. still, and then hats. And yeah, that's pretty much all I've really knit is hats and shawls at this point. Or I printed hat patterns because that's my next goal. But yes, that's what I recommend doing. That is how. Now there is a time where you probably are not going to want to keep storing all these paper patterns. And like I said, I'm sure there's somebody else that has some really great organized, way of doing it electronically. But right now, I am still stuck in the paper, and I have two binders. Right now, I have my knit binder and a crochet binder, and I am moving into binder number 2. And some of you folks that have been probably crocheting or knitting for years are like, oh my God, I'm in binder number 20. Yeah, so that is the downside of my system is, I've only been crocheting for 4 years, and I already have one very full binder and a significant stack over there. I can't even imagine how that could go on. I do have a lot of books here, and the magazines, that you can buy, the knit and crochet. And I'm actually really thinking that if I ever have a time, like a full week on my own, I might cut all the pages out and put them in a sleeve too, because as you can see, this one has suffered some damage being in a bag. But that, I feel like that's if I'm like really desperately bored. Like if I ended up getting sick or I couldn't leave the house, then I would take one of these apart and put them in the sleeves and, do it that way. But as of right now, these ones are suffering damage traveling around in my bags. But that's it. That's what I have. I thought I would share with you because I know I kind of mentioned it real quick, like when I was cleaning and pointed out my little stack. You can see it under my Happy Crafter bag. My little stack of patterns because I still need another binder. Yeah. That's it. I wanted to get a video out. This is Monday. It's actually Flinny's 6th birthday. Yesterday we had a little party for him at our house where he invited some of his buddies from school and one neighbor boy. And oh my gosh, let me tell you, it was chaos. It was loud and the kids wore their Halloween costumes, so they were all sweaty. But it was only 2 hours. And tonight we're just going to keep it simple, a little family dinner. He wanted to have spaghetti and French bread for dinner, and then I got him a little cake. My son, actually to be honest, my daughter too, and Jer, are obsessed with Roblox right now. And so I just got him a plain sheet cake. I did not make him one. I probably had time to today, seeing as though it was my half day, but I didn't. I wanted to knit and catch up on Jane with Scraptastic Yarns, because I'm a little behind on her vlogs. Anyway, I bought him a cake, and I put these like little Roblox figurines on it. So he'll get like another little toy. But that is what we're doing tonight. Happy birthday cake, spaghetti and French bread. And then, I got a day of peace, and then it's Halloween. Luckily for me, and I say luckily, I work till 5:30. And trick-or-treat is from 5 to 7. So I will miss out on trick-or-treating this year. And I'm going to tell you, I may sound like a fuddy-duddy or a party pooper, but I do not like trick-or-treating. I don't like it. I don't like being cold. I don't like walking up and down the street. I don't like knocking on strangers' doors, begging for candy. The whole thing seems ludicrous to me. But, I mean, the kids love it. Last year I tried to get in the spirits and wear a little costume. I bought one of those sleepers from Walmart, and I got the Mario one. And I called myself Mamio. And I put like a mustache on, I wore. But even then, I still was like, yeah, this is really lame. So, luckily, my husband loves it, and he asked for Halloween off this year, so he will be able to march around the town with the kids in their costumes, and I'll come sneaking in at 5:30. I might turn on my light and pass out candy, and I might not. I might just make a little late snack for them when they come home. So, that's about it for this video. We are literally like less than 50. I think when I checked before I came down here, I was at 2,967 subscribers. So less than 50, and we'll have a yarn bowl giveaway, which I really like. And I'm super excited to be using Amazon.com, not a sponsor, I have no sponsors, to give out my prize to. All right, folks, that's all I have today. And until then, happy crafting.